Okay, Year 9, we are now going to try and finish off our tray that we started in class, and I've shown you 2 videos now on and how to draw it to this point. We're going to put in our base pieces, we're going to put in our cylindrical handle, and we're going to add some rendering and design detail to finish off the drawing. So to start us with, we've got our orbit tool on, which allows you to go all the way around your project, and this whole time I've just been using the mouse pad on my laptop, but if you find it easier, you can use an actual mouse if you find it easier to control with, you can do that as well, and zooming in and zooming out. So I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to pick up my rectangle tool, and again you might need to select from the drop down rectangle, and obviously this is the center of our project. So right in the center of the base of the tray is a 50mm strip of Meranti. So we're actually going to draw that, and there's lots of different ways you can do it, but I always find it easy to work off a reference point, so we're going to use that. Rectangle tool, and we're, first of all, I'm just going to orbit so we can see this length better. If you want, because I know the measurement, I've done this drawing before, but if you were to do a different drawing and had to do this same technique, to actually know the length that you have to draw to, you can get your measurement tool out and just quickly measure that, and down here in the box it says it's 412mm. So now that we know that, we can just escape that, pick up our rectangle tool, and half of 50 is 25, so we're actually going to draw to that width, and you'll see why in a moment. So I'm going to get to the green point there, draw out, and just simply type in 412,25 and press enter. And I'm going to do the same on this side, and hopefully some of you have worked out what I'm doing here. And I have actually made that 50mm strip just by doing 25mm on each side of that center line. Okay, so it's really that simple. That is exactly how it looks there. We are then going to draw in our handle, and to do that, again, we can use our measuring tool to draw a construction line instead of using the pencil tool. So we're going to get the measuring tool, we're going to draw down 25, and then select circle, and with the circle tool it will want to draw to a radius. So you can see that little point just there. We have to work out what our diameter is, and a radius is always half of that. So we're going to draw our handle to a diameter of 25mm. Half of 25 is 12.5. So I'm just going to select from that point, draw out, and then just type in my keypad 12.5, enter, and you will get a circle there. You can then go in and delete those lines and construction points, and that will now allow you to push and pull that. You might need to zoom out and orbit a bit to be able to see the other end at a good angle, which we can do now, and push and pull that over, and you should get to the green point where it says end point, and press your keypad, and if I just orbit that, you can see now how that's really come together. So the last thing that we need to do now is just add some colour and actually make this look like your project in the workshop in real life. To do that, we use the paint bucket tool. When you go to paint bucket, you can select colours, and obviously it's going to be a matte finish with no grain detail to mimic timber. So you can use that, but I'll show you later on. It's better to use this brick symbol here, texture palettes. You can change the scale or the brightness of the colour that you choose, looking at opacity and the spectrum. You can use the crayons as well, but most of the time with timber and furniture design you will use texture palettes. So click on that, and I always find I have to play around with these different colours to find the right one. Let's start off with the one in the middle, because we know that's Meranti, and to me is this kind of colour here. To be honest, not the biggest selection of colours to choose from, but for the purposes of what we're doing, it's it's going to be fine. So if you just hover over there, it says Wood Cherry Original. Click on that, and you'll have your paint bucket, and you select that, and it will go that colour. So I'm just going to hover over these ones here. What's this? Yeah, cork. So that's not really a radiata pine colour. Flooring. Okay. Yeah, they're not the best. Let's go with this last one, which is plywood, which is a manufactured board, but it has a radiata pine finish. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it's not too bad. Sometimes you can play around with the different. Okay, see, that looks much better. That looks more like pine to me. That's horrible, so don't use that one. I think we should stick to this one. Yeah. So you just go through and you know, select all your faces and make sure that they're all in colour. And just like your workshop, you'll have to use your orbit tool to go around to do that. And pick your paint bucket back up. And yeah, it should be finished once you've gone all the way around and done that. So yeah, I'll leave it at that because I don't like the videos to be too long. But there is your finished design of your tray.